Good morning. Hello, everybody. Make sure you have printed out your workbook. Today we're going to be using it, and you'll also use it for your homework. If you don't have your workbook, or if you're not really sure who your success advisor is, please comment below so that we all know that my beautiful success advisors, Stacey, Neets, Kate, and Jess, can really help you. So just give me some love if you can hear me, and we'll get started. Good morning, gorgeous Kate. Absolutely loving where you're tuning in from today. Good morning. Oh, Stace, I'm loving all the love hearts. It's beautiful. Hello, hello. Beautiful. So just give me some love so I know who's listening, who's on. Today is going to be pretty magical. It's going to be amazing what we are going to really jump into. Letitia, good morning. Allison, good morning. Love it, love it. And just remember, if you don't have a success guide or if you haven't got the workbook, just comment or send me a message and I can help you out with that. I have beautiful people who are helping. Your success guide are people who are coaching with me. They have been working with me. They are walking the talk, or talking the walk, walking the talk. I don't know how that saying goes. They're creating amazing things in their life. So reach out to these beautiful people because they're such a great resource. Hey, gorgeous Karen. Love it. Okay, let's get into today. Welcome, welcome, welcome to today. Yeah, I am really excited. I might get a little emotional today because we are talking all about self-image. So, hey, Sally, we are talking about who we are, not on the outside, but on the deep internal. Give me some love. Give me some hearts if you can hear me. Beautiful. I love it. Now, comment below who's done their homework for day 2, which was to get really clear on your goal. And book a call in with your success advisor. They are there to help you. The gorgeous Stacey, I know that she's done a call this morning and really helped that beautiful person that she was talking to. Beck, hello. Hey, beautiful lady. Straight back at you, gorgeous. So give me a yes if you have done your homework, or some hearts if you have done your homework. Beautiful. Oh, Sally, I love where you do your homework too. That's a beautiful location. I think I could handle that. I love it. Woohoo! Laurie! Love it. Laurie's done. Yep, I'm getting some hearts as well from beautiful people. Okay, so I just want to honor you today and just say, oh, Letitia, well done. I just want to say thank you again for showing up today. And if you're listening to the replay and you're showing up, thank you for being here. If this is your first one to jump on, fantastic. You are exactly where you're meant to be right now. You are meant to come across this video, this live or this replay, exactly when you're watching it. Now, if you're day 3 and you haven't gone back to day 1 and 2, just go to the guides on the Facebook page and search for it in there, and you will see all of the recordings, all the homework, and everybody putting in their wins and sharing what they've achieved and what they've done. Hello, gorgeous Caroline. So good to see you. Okay, so what we are going to do today is we're going to really do a deep dive on self-image. And I feel this is an area that pretty much everybody needs. And if you're leveling up, you need this even more. You need to 10 times this. So we're going to be doing what's self-image, how does it work, and giving you some action steps to really level up your self-image. Beck says, my first one, I love seeing your face today. It must be what I need. Exactly. This is a really good session to jump onto as well, Beck. And there's a reason you're here. There's a reason you're here. So what I was saying before is, with our self-image, if you are sick of getting the results that you're currently getting, or you want to up level, you really need to start on the self-image on the foundational level. Not just the image we see on the outside, that's our outer image, but the image that we see or that we feel and how we think about ourselves on the inside. And I'm going to talk to you more about this and really unpack this for you. So this is an integral part of pretty much one of the missing puzzle pieces that I find most people don't focus on. They're really good at saying, oh, I'll do all the outside, I'll do all the physical, I'll follow this system, I'll follow this plan, but they forget about the most important thing, themselves, and that deep foundational self. So you might hear me say true self or divine self. That's just another way of me saying self-image. And it's really getting in connection with who you really are. Okay. Oh, I can see a few more people. Give me some hearts if you are ready to keep going. Who wants to find out more? More about what self-image is, how to improve your self-image, how this is an integral key to change, and change, long-lasting change. Beautiful. Give me some hearts. Good. Stacey's ready. I love it. I love it. Okay. Why is this so important and why am I so passionate about this? Because each and every one of us is born perfect. You are born absolutely perfect. And how do I know that? Because when you see a baby, we just can't help but go to that baby and like squeeze and be around them and hold them. And that's because they have absolutely no hang-ups, no baggage, nothing. They know, they are totally in alignment with self. They don't consciously know what it is, but they know because they feel. If they want something, they tell you. If they feel something, they share it. There is no holding back. But then as we grow and we're in our family of origin or in our community or even culture, we start buying into other people's beliefs. We start learning things and deciding that that is how we are. We decide, oh, I've got to be quiet. Oh, I can't talk too loudly. Oh, I've got to be well behaved. I'm really naughty. I'm not good enough. I'm unlovable. And we just repeat that over and over and over. Think about your money paradigms from day one. We said, you've got to work hard to make money. That's not something you were born with. That is something that you bought into, that you just started to believe because it was repeated to you, because you heard it over and over. So what I'm here today is to really help you uncover what's the negative paradigm and what is really, really you, your divine self, your true self, your self-image. Who are you on that deep, deep level, that foundational core? Now, the reason why this is so important to me is because as a kid, I grew up with a really poor self-image. So I was told seen and not heard. Anybody else like that? As kids, you're supposed to be seen and not heard. And I'm one of four, so I had a really clever older sister. There was me in the middle. I had a brilliant horsewoman sister, like a brilliant sister at like horsemanship skills, and then a brother who was really athletic and outgoing. So I decided that I had to be the good one. The good one! And I was so polite, I was kind, and I was also a doormat. And it served me well. I was liked by a lot of people. I thought that I was helping people, but I was denying who I really was. And I was letting people use me. I was putting everybody else's needs before my own. And I looked around and I was really unhappy. And who did I take that out on? This lady here. Anybody beat up on themselves badly? Give me a yes if that is you. So if you're someone who beats up on yourself, is really hard on yourself, or talks really rudely or negatively to yourself, give me a yes so I know who I am speaking to. Because that is where I was. I was like my own worst bully. I was so mean and cruel to myself. I wouldn't even say the stuff to other people that I would say to myself. Yep, Sally. Yes, Beck. Yes, Stacey. Yep. I know. Yes. Yep, Letitia. Yeah. So just know that you are not alone. And that is how I used to be. I can say that that is not who I am now. And things had to happen for me. Things had to change for me to really wake up to myself. One of the areas I had a really, really poor self image in is my body image. And I would think about how disgusting my body was pretty much from when my eyes opened to when my eyes closed. I would beat myself up. I would criticize like a little fat roll or, just anything like, oh, that's a bit tight. Please don't look at me. Oh, yes, I know I've put on weight. I would just say terrible things to myself over and over and over. Why can't I lose weight? Why can't I be a size 12? And I would beat myself up so much. I got to a point where I hated being in photos. Like I would hide if someone had a camera. And the worst thing that was invented is these phones with cameras already inbuilt because that meant, oh, I couldn't get away from it. There was like cameras everywhere. And that's because I had a really poor self-image and a really bad body image as well. I believed that I had to hide. I believed that baggy clothes, please don't look at me. I would feel like sorry for other people if they happened to glance in my direction because I was beating up on myself. I was really hard on myself and I had a really poor self-image. And then one of my cousins, and he's about 8 years younger than me, and him and his partner fell pregnant and they had like the maternity shoot and the beautiful belly and they were together and holding each other, and then they had like when the baby was born the birth photos and they were putting them all on Facebook, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how can they be so brave like that and put photos out? And then when the little bubba turned 1 month, they had photos and put them everywhere. And then the bubby turned 12 months and it was just beautiful. They had photos everywhere. But I was just like, oh my goodness, I don't think I could be that brave. Whew, this is a bit difficult because I'm just really going to open up here and just share with you what flipped a switch for me. And what happened when my cousin's little boy was 18 months old is my beautiful cousin at 28 years of age died from a workplace accident. And it made me really stop and think, thank goodness he had all of those photos with his child. Thank goodness his child has all of that captured that he can now look on and look at every single day if he wants for the rest of his life. How selfish of me not to get in front of a camera, not to allow my kids that same experience. What if this is my last day and I was too critical of myself to get in front of a camera, too critical of myself to stand up and own my life, and dimming my light for other people? Whew. So this is why this is so important to me. You all need to step into your power because you don't know who's waiting for you to show up, and you also don't know how long you've got here on this planet. There is a reason you are here, and the reason might not even be for you. It might be for somebody who is in your family, in your community, or somebody who is watching you. Okay, let's just change the mood a little bit. So what I want you to do is I want you to get your workbooks out, and I want you to turn to the session 3, which is self-image. Thank you for those people that are giving me the beautiful love, like Stace and Beck and all the beautiful people giving me hearts, because it is, like, it's a really, it moves me every time. And even now, just thinking I need to live a really big life, because it's not only my life, I'm carrying, the dreams, the hopes, the desires of all of those who've passed. And I don't take that lightly. I'm so blessed, I'm so lucky, and I'm so grateful to be here. So I want you just to think now and answer the question in the workbook, which is, how do you really feel about yourself? Do you have a positive self-image, or do you feel there's room for improvement? So definitely, if you talk to me 10 years ago, 20 years ago, oh my goodness, my self-image, out of a score like 1 being terrible, 10 being like the best self-image, I probably would have given myself a 1 or a 2. And that's not even being overcritical. Like, I was so bad, like so negative to myself, so putting myself down. Now when I look at it, there's always room for improvement. That's how I feel. But I'm like an 8 or a 9. Even last night, as I was going to sleep and I was saying my self-image script to myself over and over, I felt really happy, and a genuine happiness, not a fake it till you make it. I felt really confident. Even today, showing up for you today, I'm holding the space and I'm here for you, which I absolutely love. Oh, thanks, Carolyn. Love that little flower. And Beck, yeah, I love that you're raw and honest. It resonates with me today. So welcome, beautiful. Okay, so let's get on to the good stuff, because we're going to be really unpacking what is self-image, how does it work, and then giving you an activity to do, some actions to do. So just decide here, right now, enough is enough. You're going to draw a line in the sand. You are leaving that 2 out of 10, or however you felt about yourself on that deep level, you're leaving it in the past. I talk to my clients in coaching, and we always use words like up until now, in the past, things like words like that, because your language is so, so important, and especially when it comes to self-image. I've got a really cool self-image script recorded, and I'm going to send that to my success advisors and get them to send it to people who have showed up and done the homework, who are booking in that goal setting call and getting help, who are really looking to up level themselves and know that self-level and that foundational level is exactly what they need. So success guides, I'll share that with you today. And if you're here and you're like, yep, Gerry, I want that recording, reach out to myself, reach out to your success guides, and they will send it and share it with you. Okay, so what is self-image? We didn't even realize that self-image existed. Like, there wasn't really a word for it until the 1930s, when Maxwell Maltz, who is or was a plastic surgeon, he realized that when he worked on people, they would come into his surgery, say he had to correct a facial disfigurement. Some people would walk out of there and they would be stepping into their total new self. And they would live differently. They would hold themselves differently. And they would just be a totally different person. And he said other people would walk out of there and they would just be like hiding still feel like them old selves, and still have the lacking of confidence and lacking of belief, even though they didn't have the disfigurement anymore. And he said there are 2 images. There's the image that we project to the outside. So here I am. I did brush my hair this morning after CrossFit, got my lips on. I'm projecting the image that I want you to see. But there's a second image, and that's the inner self-image, or as I like to call, our true self or divine self. And that's how you really think and feel about yourself. And that's why I asked you, how do you really feel about yourself? Do you have a positive self-image, or is there room for improvement? Let me know in the chat. Give yourself a score out of 10 like I did. In the past, to be honest with you, I was a 1 or a 2. Like, you did not want to hear the stuff that I was saying to myself in my own mind. It was exhausting. And no wonder, like, I ate because I wanted to hide. I wanted to hide. I wanted to become really unattractive because that's how my mental dialogue was. It was really unattractive. So my self-image was just living into that. And now I look at my body, I'm like, you are bloody amazing. I haven't lost any weight, but I think I look awesome. I love my legs. I love how strong I am. I love how functional my body is. I love how healthy I am. So tell me, give me a score. Beautiful. Beck says room for improvement. Thank you for being so honest, Beck. And also the first one, look at you go. And it's not about judging. It's just about observing. Even if you are a 1 or a 2 like where I was, it's not good or bad, it just is. I just observed it. I was a 3, have worked myself up to a 6 or a 7. I love this, Stace. Still have plenty of work to do. Yeah, and we all do. It's about both being satisfied but also hungry. You know, grateful but also like, what's the next level? What else? Tanya said, varies for me, but I'd rate a 5 at this moment. Yep. Thank you for your honesty, Tanya, Stacey, and Beck. I really appreciate it. And Letitia, a 5. Beautiful. That's pretty big that you guys can share this, because even at a 1 and a 2, I probably wouldn't have shared it. I would have been, even though I'm so outgoing, that was the image I projected to the world. On the inside, I was beating myself up to the point where I wouldn't get in a photo. And now, you know what I do? I get in photos, I take selfies, and I look at them. Woo! Okay, so the first part is like self-image. If you want to know more about self-image, Maxwell Maltz, Psycho-Cybernetics, or start coaching with me. Learn from me. Learn about self-image and how to grow yourself. Beautiful. Carolyn says 4, but working on it. Mwah! Stacy, awesome. Sally says there's room for improvement. A 4 or a 5. I'm learning to love myself. I love this. I play a lot in the areas I am comfortable, but in the areas I'm not comfortable, yeah, 4 out of 5. Sally, so great you brought that up, because some areas you may feel really confident, really capable, and know that you just smash it. And then other areas you're like, oh, yeah, no, not the best. Yep. Mandy, at the most a 2. That's really brave of you to share, beautiful lady, because that's been really raw and honest. And I'm so glad that we have created this space where people can share, where people can open like this and feel loved and accepted. Thank you. Thank you for creating the space. And you have done that today. You are doing this on this call. That gives me goosebumps. The community that we are all creating together. And it's just beautiful. And that's what I find in the coaching. People hold the space for each other. And we see the good. We see the true self. We see your divine. Ooh! Okay. Sally says she's a 9 or a 10 at showing up for others. Oh, beautiful. Now, Sally, if you can do that for others, you can also do it for yourself. It's about you allowing yourself to hold that space for you. And Stace just said, no, she wouldn't say an 8. She wouldn't say a 9. She's like, definitely a 10 for Sally. Okay, beautiful. So, again, if you're like, well, how do I know when it's true, when it's my true self? Because a lot of the time what we do is we get an idea, or we get a really awesome idea, like you've been guided to jump on this call, and you might be like, I would love to work with Gerry, or I'd love to jump on a call with my success advisors just to, plan my goal. And then what happens is the next part of you, that negative paradigm, will talk you out of it. Or you get an idea to start your own business because you love this certain area. It is your calling. But then what follows is, no, you're not good enough. You can't do it. Look where you live. You live in Central Queensland, for crying out loud. You won't be able to do that. Or you've been in a relationship and you know that it's over, but you stay there. This is all from your self-image. And this is why it's so, so important to really work on your self-image so that you are improving every aspect of your life. So, how you feel when you are truly connected with yourself, you are in flow. Things are happening easily for you. those who have been around for a while, quantum leap. You quantum leap your results. It's almost like instead of, one step, next step, next step, you're like one step, next step, and then 5 steps, and you've achieved your goal. You feel happy. Not a fake it till you make it, a real happiness within. You are grateful. You are confident. This is when you're in alignment. This is when you are connected to your self, your true self, your divine self. And this is a state and a way of being, which is so exciting. Okay. So next thing, because I could talk about this all day. So the next thing I wanted to share with you is, how does it work? How does our self-image work? Because at the moment, I'm looking at my results. I like that. No. Don't like this, don't like that. And I'm happy with some of them, maybe not over the moon, but I'm unhappy with other things. And I know I want to change it. How do I actually change it? How does self-image work? So glad you asked. So self-image is all based on, again, how we believe, what we believe about ourselves, the level of success that we feel we deserve, the level of love, the level of abundance. And it's all within your subconscious mind. So again, Monday I talked about paradigms, and paradigms are those limiting beliefs or beliefs that we have about ourselves. And if you're unhappy with an area of your life, you know that you have limiting beliefs in that area. Because look at the results you're getting, you're unhappy with it, it all has to come back to your self-image. It all has to come back how you really feel and think and what you really believe about yourself. So your paradigms are what is driving the boat. And the other thing that's happening is your RAS. So I learned this from Alan Peace just on Friday. I had heard it before, but I love how universe will throw things up in your face and you're like, yes, that's exactly right. So I'm going to reticulative activative system. Anyway, it's the RAS. And I'm totally mucking that word up and how I'm saying it. And you know what? In the past, being a teacher and all of that and saying a word incorrectly, reticular activating system. Look at that, it came to the surface. In the past, I would have beaten myself up about saying it incorrectly. Now it's like, it'll come. So what that is a part of your brain that takes in the information that's really important to you. So throughout your day, you're getting like 4 million pieces of information. And it might be even on a minute by minute. And your brain, your RAS, needs to decipher and take in the important stuff, because your brain can only take in about 2,000 sources of information. And so your RAS is looking for what's important. And guess what's important? It's what you believe about yourself. It's your self-image. So it's gathering information and data and evidence to support it. So if you have a belief that, I'm too fat, well, guess what? Your RAS is going to find every mirror that makes you look terrible, every terrible lighting, every photo you hate about yourself. Your RAS is going to find it. I've got a friend who says to me, Gerry, I never get sick. I'm always well. And so her RAS is looking for all the information, gathering all the evidence when she's well, happy, healthy, bouncing. If you've ever looked at buying a new car and you decided, right, I am going to buy a red Camry Toyota. And you're like, this is what I want. You put it up on your vision board. It's this hot red looking, looks beautiful. And you go, hop in the car, go to pick up the kids from school. Oh, there's a red Camry, there's a red Camry, there's a red Camry. It's like, where have all these red Camrys come from? It's because that's what's important to you. It's like your internal GPS. So how your self-image works is it gathers the information that's important and it points you in the right direction. What's this? I'm going to read a few of these. Sal says, I legit just spoke to my kids about this today on the way to school. I love this. See, Sally, nothing's a coincidence. You were meant to hear this again. And the best thing you can do is teach it to somebody else, like your kids. How powerful. So the way the self-image works is it's like an autopilot. So the pilot gets in the plane, you know, they've got to they've got to fly from Los Angeles to Sydney. So they put in the coordinates, beep, 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 beep. I'm pretty sure that's technically correct how I just did that. Anyway, they put in the coordinates and they put the plane on autopilot. So the plane, its job is actually to self-correct, and it will go from Los Angeles all the way to Sydney. This is what your self-image does for you as well. If you have a self-image that's like, I'm terrible at business, I can never keep money, I always spend more than I can make, guess what? Your autopilot is going to do that. You might be in a business where you generate lots of sales and that's where you get your income. So one month you're like, sweet, I'm dedicated, I'm doing this. You do heaps and heaps of sales, and then the next month, guess what happens? Because the autopilot, you do heaps and heaps of sales, the next month, because it's got to keep you on track. It's got to keep you where it feels comfortable. The level of success you feel you deserve. That's what the self-image is all about. So I'd like you to write this down. And I'd like one of my success advisors either to type this in the chat, which is, you can't outperform a poor self-image. So you can't outperform a poor self-image. Stacey, you must be one of my clients, because guess what the next step is? The power affirmations. So write it down. You can't outperform a poor self-image. So no matter what strategy, what tools, if you are not doing the work deep, on a deep level, then nothing is going to change. Or it might change for a short time, but not a long time. I love it. I love it. Oh, beautiful. Thanks, Stacey. She's written it down there. So if you're like, oh, Gerry, what was that again? Stacey's written it down there. You can't outperform a poor self-image. Yeah, predicting the future like she always does. I love it. I love it. Okay, that's beautiful. Okay, so let's talk about how we're actually going to change our self-image. Because, actually, before you do that, what is self-image? Just while it's nice and fresh, write in your workbook, what is self-image? And just take down a few notes there. And I'd absolutely love it if you could share with me what are your takeaways from, what is self-image? What have you heard today so far? What is a key takeaway? Oh, Letitia, truth bomb! I love it. This is so cool. So what has been a key takeaway for you? Has it been about showing up? Has it been about, if I don't do the work on the inside, nothing's going to change on the outside? Has it been, geez, I need some self-image work? Really just tell me what are the takeaways thus far, or something that really jumped out to you during this call. And it might have been something that someone else has shared, because that's the power of being in this group. That's the power of listening to the replay or jumping on live. You hear exactly what you need to hear, and you are with exactly who you need to be with. Beautiful. Stacey says something that she has learned, or an aha she's taking away, is what I tell myself matters. What I tell myself matters. Yep, 100%. And what I believe. So remember yesterday I said, if you believe it's going to be easy, or if you believe it's going to be difficult, guess what? You're 100% correct. You're right. Beautiful. Mandy says, reality slap about working on my self-image. Yep, I love it. Reality slap. Beautiful. Really, really good. I love it. Hey, Petey. So good to see you. Beautiful. Thanks for jumping on. Okay, I'm going to just see a few more ahas. And then what I want to do is give you a little action step from here. And Stacey's just sort of alluded to it just before. Sally says, unless you go within, you'll always go without. Oh my goodness. Love it. Takeaway, I'm totally fucking hiding. Like 100%. Yes. And you've even got someone giving you a big laugh for that. Oh, I love it. I love it. It's so cool. So when I start coaching with my clients, it's amazing. They have the answers within. I teach you how to unlock that within you. I teach you how to unlock the potential within, because we are capable of so much more than we're giving ourselves credit for. We have bought into the lies and limiting beliefs and limiting paradigms of other people. You know when I decided that I probably had to be seen and not heard? Probably as a 2 or 3 year old kid. Maybe 2.5, because that's when my next sibling was born. And it was probably like my mother had 2 children, and then she had a baby, and she was like, go and keep yourself company, go and do something. So I probably made a decision at 2.5, and then I lived that decision for 30 years, 35 years. And that's how I just showed up in the world. Whew. Okay. Hello, gorgeous Nikki. Gorgeous thing. I love that you gave me hearts. Woo! Just remember, when you see someone post, give them a heart. When you see someone comment, give them a heart. Not only in this group, but everywhere on Facebook. Imagine the energy that just shows up. And it's so cool because I'm a big believer of what you put out, you get back. And especially good. If you're putting good out there, the law of cause and effect. The cause, what I put out there, the effect is the good that's coming back to me. I know that showing up for you here today, for this week, holding the space for you, great things are coming my way. Like, I've done this in the past and had amazing experiences. And the same can be true for you as well. Okay, now, last thing, which is change. How do I actually change this, Gerry? So again, Sally, you said it beautiful. Unless you go within, you'll always go without. So unless you're doing that work on a deep level, foundational level, nothing is going to change on the outside. Catherine Weissharpel says 95% mindset, 5% strategy. And a lot of the time we get caught up in strategy. We forget the mindset. We forget the self, the divine self, the true self, the self-image. And if nothing is changing on the inside, nothing is changing on the outside. So there are 2 ways of changing. The first way to change is through a big emotional impact. And that happened when I was sharing about my beautiful cousin and I didn't want to take photos. That changed my self-image when it comes to photos. If I see a photo now, I'm just like, sweet, beautiful, love it. Yes, get me in a photo. Please put me in a photo with my kids. Love it, love it, love it. Let's capture this moment. How blessed are we that we get another day on this planet, that I look another day older. Like, fantastic. The other way to do it, which is a lot kinder, a lot more practical way, and it actually gives you the power, is through time-space repetition. So going over it again and again and again, what you want. And one of the ways to do that is through affirmations. Now, I didn't really know the power affirmations or how to use affirmations before I started to do the mindset stuff, the heart stuff, the self-image stuff. And you need to do your affirmations to a point where it becomes automatic. So you start self-suggesting until it becomes auto-suggesting. And like I said before, I have recorded a self-image script, self-image affirmations for you to listen to and repeat over and over and over. And if you want those, reach out to your success guides. Reach out to myself. If you're doing the homework, if you are showing up fully, if you are booking in a call to talk about your goals, this is when I know that you are serious about changing. So when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. This is so super cool. So again, you can't outperform a poor self-image. I really hope you take the nuggets of gold that I've given to you today and implement them in your life. Your homework for today, day 3 homework, is finish answering the questions in the workbook. So the self-image, it's what is self-image? How do you really feel about yourself? And then how can you improve your self-image? What are the ways that you can improve your self-image? This is a really powerful quote, and it says, the most important relationship is the one you have with yourself. So if you are somebody that is not honoring that relationship, not creating the results that you want, then you need to go back to self-image. You need to go back to that foundational self. Okay, tomorrow we are talking about one of the most important keys to unlocking what you want. And it's something that a lot of people stop themselves from doing. And it's something that really successful, high-functioning, high-powerful multi-millionaires do, just like that. And we'll talk about it all tomorrow. Please reach out to your success guides. Please stay in touch and keep posting in the Facebook group. So post your wins, post your takeaways. Give us photos of yourself doing your workbook. I love it. Don't be like how I was when I hated photos of myself. Get in front of the camera. Push through that fear barrier and do it anyway. Yes, I am so excited too, Stacey. And I just love that you are here today, that I can hold the space with you, and all the beautiful love that I've been getting from each and every one of you. It is not a coincidence you are here today. You needed to hear this. And if not for you, maybe it's for somebody in your life. Maybe you know one or two people who would benefit from hearing about self-image, from learning about themselves on a deep, deep level. Okay, in saying that, love you all. Have a fantastic rest of your day and stay in contact with your success advisors. Reach out to me. I'm really, really excited to hear how amazing you are going this week. Okay, bye everybody.